9-46. Big Sky semifinals, Montana State 75-42 over Idaho State. Montana beat Northern Arizona 71-67. ASUN semifinals, Central Arkansas 70-65 over Lipscomb. Florida Gulf Coast beat Eastern Kentucky 63-47. American semifinal, Rice over Temple 67-49. South Florida beat North Texas 58-48. Mountain West semifinal, San Diego State 71-59 over UNLV. Wyoming beat Fresno State 57-45. Men's hoops, Gonzaga beat St. Mary's 58-51 to win the West Coast Conference title. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You've heard of smart bombs, smartphones, smart cars, smart watches, and smart glasses. Now you can add smart player, giving you sports gaming strategies and information 24/7. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The only place in football where the offense is always on the field is on Moneyline. With the two best hosts in radio, Donnie Rightside.
If anybody wasn't watching, listen, I don't know what you were doing.
And Kevin Walsh.
Forget act like you've been there before.
On the SportsGrid Radio Network, Sirius XM Channel 159.
The best hour of your day now is officially underway right here on the SportsGrid Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. It is Moneyline and a solo mission from your boy, Donnie Rightside. And today we got college basketball. It is a smorgasbord all the way through. So we got to get some tone out here, people. Can you feel it? Can you feel the energy in the building? Let's get it cranked up. Come on. Yeah! Yes! Come on! Winning night last night. Did you follow along? Put out a parlay yesterday on Bet365, little odds boost action, which I think bumped it up to what, a plus 155? UNC Wilmington to win the first half money line. Bang, check. Couple guys from Delaware to splash down 3-point shots. Check, check. Nailed that both. And away we go into the night, which then included, I told you guys, all day yesterday, Gonzaga was the right side over St. Mary's. Love St. Mary's. Bet St. Mary's in the regular season against Gonzaga worked out in my favor. Yesterday, you saw that line. You saw the style of play, and it was a rock fight. What if I would have told you in that game that Gonzaga would make 5 total free throws in that game and 1 3-point shot? You would have thought they got blown out in that game. They didn't get blown out. They won the game, and they covered the spread, which is the most important thing. But today, we got business to get to. You see this right here? You hear it on the radio? That's a pen, and it's clicking. If you're watching here, right through SportsGrid on demand on our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, come in and say hello. This is my pad. So we're going to handicap live on the line today. There's a couple games that I already think make a lot of sense, but we're going to go in chronological order today to see what we have. Some of these games are bad, no doubt about it. There is a ton of games here. We'll get to some hot topics when they pop up in and out of commercial break, but I think I owe it to you, the listeners out here, to go over some of the instances that I think we can make some money on tonight, because it's going to be good. And the gambling gods?
Donnie, it's going to be a really good day.
See that? You ask and you shall receive here, people. We're ready to go. We're ready to dip into the action. We'll start in the A-10 today. Washington, D.C., Capital One Arena. Davidson taking on Richmond. And again, these are games that I haven't even looked at yet, most of these. But we're handicapping on the fly based on time, because right now it's 11:05 Eastern. At 11:30 Eastern, this game will be tipping off in Washington. Richmond, terrible in offense and terrible in defense. So typically, you look and say, ooh, Where can we get in here with Davidson? Davidson typically likes to shoot the three-point shot. They don't do it all that well. They used to kill it with Bob McKillop back in the day, and so many great three-point shooters, which included Steph Curry. They don't have that now. 10th out of 15 teams in conference play at making the three-point shot, and only 8th in volume. So not a great matchup there. Can they score down low? Possibly, but a stingy team in Richmond on defense, so that takes that side out of the equation. Richmond's offense is terrible. 14th out of 15 teams. Inefficiency in Atlantic 10 play. However, they don't turn the basketball over, which helps. They don't rebound. They don't get to the free throw line. They don't make a lot of three-point shots. So for me, guys, I apologize. At 11:30 a.m., we are not going to be in business right away with any action for Richmond and Davidson. Just not going to happen here. 12 o'clock start in the ACC. Virginia takes on Georgia Tech. Again, two bad basketball teams matching up, neutral court site in Charlotte, North Carolina, as the ACC rumbles on. You take a look at Virginia's offense. It's not very good, but they do like to shoot the three-point shot, guys. They're extremely slow, but they don't turn the basketball over either. They make 37.6% of their three-point shot attempts. Georgia Tech's defense is 9th in defending out of 18 teams, so right midpoint here. Not great, not terrible. But when you look at the volume of three-point shots that Virginia takes, 43% of their total shots come from three-point range, and Georgia Tech doesn't defend it, or should I say chase you off the three-point line all that much. Point distribution, number 1 in conference play at scoring from the three-point line at close to 38% of their points coming from the three-point line. That's Virginia. Number 2 at letting you score from the three-point line. That's Georgia Tech. So right now, I'm going to scribble down Virginia and a possible team total here. Now, that game gets underway at noon. So by the time we're ending this show, it's already going to be off the board. So the chances that I probably bet it are going to be slim. But I'm telling you right now, Virginia's team total, let me just see what it is, too. So let's focus. Where should we go? We'll go to just Bet365, and we use that just as an even marker here. So we'll go Virginia, Georgia Tech, team props. There's the alts, first half team totals. All right, Virginia is 64.5 as a team total. So I'll write that one down. And again, chances I bet that, probably slim to none since we'll be on the air. But I'm just going over handicapping it game by game, where I think Virginia has a legitimate chance here to score from the three-point line. Therefore, has a chance to get 64.5 points, which could turn out to be crazy because it's Virginia. It's a neutral site. Daddy, what are you doing? Again, strategic handicapping all the way through and having some fun doing it. That's a noon game. 12:30 tip-off. Let's get out there to the Big 12. It's Cincinnati, and it's Iowa State, people. Iowa State's one of those teams I got my eye on. You know I do. I've told you multiple times. Texas Tech, Iowa State, Big 12. Seems like, for me, a match made in heaven coming up in March Madness, which Selection Sunday is this Sunday here. Aaron Schoen out there in the chat box, thanks for checking in with us. Anybody else there have any comments? Yes, you're listening live in your car, Sirius XM channel 159. We love it. Maybe you're watching through the app here on the Sportsbook app, one of the best in the business. Maybe SportsGridRadio.com, or maybe you are just on with us right now on the YouTube channel, SportsGrid On Demand. Get our live programming there. Come in the chat box and say hello. Cincinnati, Iowa State today. Iowa State, what do they do well, people? They love to play defense. Second in conference play out of 16 teams in the Big 12 at efficiency on defense. You love to see that. You know what else you love to see, too? The turnover percentage. The best team on defense at turning you over in the Big 12, is Iowa State. They'll defend the three-point line. They'll defend inside the arc. They don't foul a ton. Quality club. So for me, for Cincinnati, you look at them. They like to shoot the three-point shot. It's maybe about midway in conference. They don't make a lot of them. They do score inside the paint, but Iowa State's defense is pretty stingy. So from a Cincinnati side, you're probably looking maybe a little bit more towards the team total under, but I want to focus on Iowa State's offense here. Let's take a look. Iowa State likes to get to the free throw line. However, Cincinnati does not foul. Cincinnati also chases you off of the three-point line, but doesn't defend it all that well. Here's the key indicator. Iowa State's offense makes 35% of their three-point shots in conference play, but they're 11th out of 16 teams at volume, so they don't force those. So when the three ball is open, they will make those. They're 10th in conference play at point distribution, talking about Iowa State from two-point land, inside the arc. Number 3 overall, giving up points inside the arc, that's Cincinnati. So for me, I don't have a great feel per se, because understand this. Cincinnati doesn't foul. 16th in conference play at point distribution at giving up points from the free throw line, only averaging around 15% of the total. 22% of the offense on Iowa State comes from the free throw line. Not a match made in heaven. So as much as I just want to bet Iowa State in this game, I'm going to lay low because I know there's better options out there. But that's a 12:30 start. Let's get into the 1 o'clock hour. There's two games. South Carolina versus Arkansas in the SEC, and then Charlotte versus Rice in the American. So we get that nice little matchup of we have Power 5 high majors going up against not mid-majors, but certainly not big-time college basketball divisions out here like the American. But let's take a look at Arkansas, which if you're John Calipari, you need to stack up some victories in March Madness play. South Carolina's offense, the worst in the SEC by far, 16th overall to 16 teams. What do they do well? Just about nothing. They get to the free throw line. That's a positive. They don't rebound the basketball on offense at all. They turn it over more than any other team in conference play. Close to 20% of their possessions end up in a turnover. You want the three-point shot for South Carolina? They're dead last in conference play. You want them inside the arc? They're second to last in percentage inside the arc. Free throws, 8th in conference play, so about midway through. Arkansas's defense don't really let you shoot the three-point shot all that much. Defended okay at best. Inside the arc, decent defenders. But we'll focus on Arkansas's offense coming up next to see if that makes a difference. We're handicapping today, people. It's Wednesday. Get your pen, get your paper, get in here and have some fun. It's Donnie Rightside, and I am with the SportsGrid Network with Moneyline today, NCAA March Madness.
We give you expert analysis and information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Any easier and the government would ban us. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
With the SportsGrid News Flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. Months after ditching its open seating policy, Southwest Airlines is ending its most recognizable perk, free checked baggage. The airline will begin charging for the first and second checked bag beginning on May 28th. However, members of its A-List loyalty program or those traveling on a business fare will be exempt from the fees. It's a big shift for Southwest, which has always offered free checked bags since the airline started about 60 years ago and kept the policy in place when its competitors started adding and increasing fees. The Department of Education initiated mass layoffs on Tuesday night, reducing its workforce by nearly 50%. The reduction in force notices began to go out about 6 p.m. Some 1,315 employees were affected by the RIFs, leaving 2,183 employed by the department, according to senior officials at the DOE. I'm Trey Westerberg with the SportsGrid News Flash.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
You don't have to listen to SportsGrid. You can always go out in the woods at night, look up, and wish on a shooting star. Or you can get the winning edge right here. And you won't find any ticks on you the next day. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Right back at it, people, here. It's Moneyline. It is a Wednesday. It's a very important day. College basketball all day long and all night long, giving you a little precursor to next week's official start of March Madness. Sunday night, you will know the brackets. Sunday night, you will be filling out those brackets and hope you win your office pools. You need to stick right here with the SportsGrid Network because we're going to give you all those tips that you need. And also, I got days that I'm lined up, people, in the studio as well. So live from me, not this Thursday, next Thursday. Excuse me, not next Thursday. Next Friday night, 7 p.m. I'll be in the studio. Sunday at noon, I'll be in the studio. Then the following Sunday, I will be in the studio again. Then for the Final Four, that's Saturday night, 9 to midnight, I'll be in the studio. How about that? We're set up. Studio shows, college basketball all the way around. By the way, looking at Arkansas and South Carolina. Arkansas's offense should have a advantage inside the paint against South Carolina. But two teams, not a lot of tempo, not a lot of love in that game. So let's keep moving here. Let's go to the other 1 o'clock game. Rice and Charlotte. Denton, Texas, the super pit down there. Hey, Charlotte's got a terrible defense, by the way. 13th out of 13th in conference play. 3-point shots, okay. Not going to match up that side. Charlotte's offense versus Rice's defense looks average at best. Let's pass on that. I mean, is anybody really excited about Charlotte and Rice in the American? Wyoming and San Jose State. Mountain West Conference, 2 o'clock start from the Thomas and Mack, which again, 11 a.m. start out there. East Coast time. Or West Coast time, I should say. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see how we can divvy this game up. Conference play again. We're looking at some of the dregs, and that's why they're playing earlier typically in these tournaments. As this card goes on, we'll get some better teams and some better matchups to look forward to. 11 teams out there in the Mountain West. 9th on offense and 9th on defense in the matchup is Wyoming versus San Jose State. Apologize. 3-point shooting. Number 1 at chasing you off the line is San Jose State. Number 4 at defending it is San Jose State. Not a great 3-point shooting team for Wyoming. So in this one, probably a pass on that side. Defensively, nothing really. So Wyoming, San Jose State at the Thomas and Mack, we're not going to be getting involved in that all too much. Let's keep going down. Rhode Island and Fordham. That's the A-10 tournament. That's in Washington, D.C. This game's going to take place at 2 o'clock. And again, these are bad basketball teams. This is what starts tournament action early in the day. Really bad teams. We're trying to focus on to see if we have some sort of options to play. Rhode Island's offense, 9th out of 15 teams. It's average at best. They do get to the free throw line, which will help them against Fordham. But when we're looking from the 3-point shot, Fordham doesn't defend it all that well, but will chase you off the 3-point line. Rhode Island's offense doesn't really rely on that. And Rhode Island is the fastest team in conference play due to average possession length on offense. Fordham's offense, not very good. So if there's anything in this game, it probably would be coming from Rhode Island's offense because they can get to the line. Fordham is 14th out of 15 teams at fouling, which will send them to the line. And then if you're looking at the 3-point shot, they're decent. 34% as a team, talking about Rhode Island, matching up against Fordham's defense. But not anything that I think is sensational. And again, bad basketball teams earlier in the day. That's what you're going to get. Grambling State versus Southern, we're just going to skip that altogether. All right, let's start to get into some of the teams that you guys know, love, and understand. The ACC, it's Notre Dame, it's North Carolina. You know North Carolina needs to go on an epic run if they want to make it into March Madness, which means multiple victories, which include at least one over Duke that they'll probably get right away and a chance to play, and then winning the ACC overall. Let's take a look at this game against Notre Dame in the matchup. Notre Dame squeaks by in a rock fight yesterday. That was over Pitt. Tough foul call at the end of the game. Notre Dame gets the advantage there, and away we go. Now, let's look at this. Notre Dame's offense, 7th out of 18 teams in efficiency. North Carolina's defense is 6th. So a decent matchup there. UNC's offense, however, is 5th in conference play and efficiency. Notre Dame's defense is 11th out of 18 teams. If we're looking at fouling, Notre Dame does foul. UNC doesn't get to the line all that much. If we're looking at 3-point shooting, UNC's decent, 37% as a team, but 14th out of 18 teams at utilizing the 3-point line. But Notre Dame, average at chasing you off the line, very good at defending the 3-point shot. So in this game, if you're just looking at the press, because this line opened up actually at 7.5 points as a favorite towards North Carolina, ballooned up to 10.5. I do think North Carolina wins because it's a must-win situation for them if they want to play. They'll have home field advantage, home court advantage, if you will, even though this game is in Charlotte. They'll turn out. Don't love that game. Don't love the spread at that point, and I don't have anything that's really going to tilt in my favor. So really the only game so far, to be honest, has been one of the earlier games of the day, and that's Virginia and Georgia Tech, which I wrote down 64.5 as a team total for the Virginia Cavaliers. Let's keep going down. West Virginia and Colorado. Colorado actually won a basketball game yesterday. Celebrate out there in Boulder. Colorado's offense in Big 12 play, 15th out of 16. It's really bad. They turn the basketball over more than anybody else, and they stink at shooting the 3-point shot. If you look at West Virginia's defense, it does match up pretty well with them, but that's not really the focus. I'm not really looking to take a side in this game because, again, it's two bad basketball teams. Kansas City, Missouri, neutral court. Good luck getting any fan bases to show up to this one. West Virginia on offense, very good at not turning the basketball over against a team that doesn't turn you over. So that is a key advantage. You take a look at the 3-point shooting, which West Virginia isn't great, but they shoot about 31% as a team. The worst team at defending the three-point shot in Big 12 conference play, it's Colorado. And West Virginia does launch from three-point range. Almost 45% of their total shots come from three-point range, so that could be doable here. Colorado a bit stingy inside the arc, and that's not really where West Virginia wants to score. Here's the issue sometimes you run into. Colorado's going to foul you more than anybody in conference play. West Virginia is 15th out of 16 teams at getting to the line, which is terrible. And when West Virginia does get to the line, they're 13th out of 16 teams at making free throws at only 68%. So even though for me, West Virginia is a slower offense, they probably could get their team total, but it's hard to trust the team total when you don't get to the free throw line and you don't make your free throws when you actually get to the free throw line. So again, moving down, we're not going to find cherries every single spot we have, but it's fun to see the matchups as you move forward. Now we're into the 3:30 hour here. Texas and Vanderbilt in the SEC. That's going to take place in Nashville. Looking at conference play, Vanderbilt is the worst defense in the conference. Texas doesn't rely on the three-point shot, and Vanderbilt defends the two a little bit better than the three. We're not finding perfect matchups right now. We're just not. We're going to continue to go down it. We got a long way to go, people. We got to hustle to make sure we get through every single game we could possibly get on the card, and only one bettable game so far. It's all right. We'll find them. It's your boy Donnie Rightside, right here on the Sports Grid Network. It's Moneyline on a Wednesday.
Loser is kind of a mean-spirited slur.
But it doesn't have to stick.
Tell them to listen to Sports Grid and fix it.
No, thank you. Later.
This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The Sports Grid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1966, Bobby Hull scores his 51st goal of the season, setting a new record.
And the crowd goes wild here in Chicago. Bobby Hull has broken the all-time scoring record of 51 goals in a single season, and the crowd are going crazy.
The Golden Jet was selected to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983. For Sports Grid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
The University of Copenhagen's new AI machine learning model can understand the emotional state of animals just by listening to them. With 89.4% accuracy, it acoustically distinguishes positive and negative emotions from 7 different species, including cows,
It's a beautiful game.
pigs,
Stop stealing my slop.
and even wild boars.
Have you ever had one of those days?
This breakthrough universal animal emotion translator, a game changer for barnyard quality of life.
You're standing on my foot.
Follow me at G Capalbo on X and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Sports Rage tonight.
Well, you got to ask yourself, are the Raiders better now with Geno Smith than they were before? Not really. All you need to know is the Raiders' odds, guys, before they signed Geno Smith were 100 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. The Raiders' odds now to win the Super Bowl, 100 to 1. It didn't even cause a ripple, nothing. Didn't move an inch.
It's Sports Rage tonight with Gabe Morency. Weekdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific on the Sports Grid Radio Network. Winning is no accident.
You gotta be smart about it.
It takes a plan. All centered around expert analysis and trusted information.
That's what you get.
Right here. The winning edge. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Come on, let's hit every game here, people. We're speeding it up. We are. We're in the 3:30 hour, Northwestern Minnesota in the Big Ten. Looks like an ugly rock fight basketball game with 2 horrendous offenses. But again, the better teams will start to come out as we get later in the day and later in these tournaments. Northwestern's 13th most efficient offense in Big Ten play out of 18 teams. Minnesota's 17th out of 18 teams. Not necessarily speaking any interest there. Both teams shoot horribly from the floor, so let's just not even handicap that game and just move on. That's a waste of time. Northwestern versus Minnesota. And it looks like Ken Palm predicting a 67-62 game, which is exactly what you get here. Let's get back to Madison Square Garden, 4 o'clock today. The Big East tournament, it's Butler and it's Providence. Taking a look here, Butler's offense, 5th out of 11 teams in efficiency on offense. They do like the three-point shot. They're decent at it. They get 36% as a team. Providence doesn't defend it all that well. So it looks like a decent matchup for Butler's offense against Providence. Two teams that aren't ultimately fast, but Butler also does like to get to the free throw line. They are 4th in conference play at point distribution from the free throw line, And 9th out of 11 teams in fouling is Providence. So that helps out. So if Butler, what is the spread in that Butler game? Just bring up my odds board here. Sometimes you got to move things around live. So we'll go Butler. Providence. Butler's favored by 1.5 points with a total of 147.5. Providence's offense turns the basketball over more than any team in conference play, but Butler doesn't really turn you over. Providence does shoot a decent 3-point shot, but Butler defends it and will chase you off the line. So it looks like a decent advantage. Like if I was going to take a team, I'll write it down. Let's go. Butler minus 1.5. 1.5 points. Looks like a decent one in Madison Square Garden at 4 o'clock. We'll put that one down. All right, let's keep it moving. So Butler Providence, I'm looking for those team totals, to be honest. Like that's what gets me excited. Like I need that. I need some action like that. Getting after, right? Where's the team totals? We got one today at noon. Virginia 64.5. That's it, you're telling me? Nah, we got to find more. UMass taking on LaSalle, 8-10 from Washington, D.C. Let's see what we got in this one. Again, bad basketball teams. 15 teams in conference play. Who's the worst offense? It's LaSalle. LaSalle doesn't shoot the 3-point shot all that well. They might get slapped today, by the way, if I'm just looking at that because UMass doesn't even play good defense. But if LaSalle doesn't shoot the 3-point shot well, it doesn't take a lot of them. UMass defends the 3-point shot decently. You take a look at the point distribution. LaSalle does score 52.4% of their points on offense inside the arc, but shoots a low of 43% as a team from inside the arc. UMass is a little bit stingy down low. UMass does foul, but LaSalle doesn't get to the line all that much. Probably UMass's offense stinks. 13th out of 15 teams. Effective field goal percentage, terrible. You know what? Where's LaSalle at? Where's LaSalle's team total? Let's go over to Bet365. What time did I say this game was? 4:30 start. There's 3:30s, there's 4:30s. Where's LaSalle in here? Team props, LaSalle total, under 71.5. I'm having fun with this. So we'll go LaSalle, team total under, not over, 71.5. They look brutal today. Two brutal teams. Maybe we just find solace in that game goes under the total. Let's keep moving down again, trying to get to as many games as we possibly can today on the card. So we just hit Butler Providence, LaSalle, UMass. Now we get to Nevada and Fresno State out in the Mountain West. That's a 4:30 start, so West Coast time, a 1:30 start. Fresno's offense, 10th out of 11 in efficiency on offense. So that's how we always get started here. Nevada's offense is 5th out of 11 teams in efficiency. Don't shoot the 3-point shot all that well. Nothing to like in that game. See how quickly we can handicap some of these? We don't get those green lights right away. In, out, move on. Lamar and McNeese. This is a big one here. From the Legacy Center, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Love this conference. It's a good one. It's a really good conference. So when we look at Lamar and McNeese State, the two top teams in the Southland Conference, one of my favorite conferences I used to bet all of the time. McNeese is good. They're really good on offense and really good on defense. Lamar's effective field goal percentage is 10th out of 12. That's not going to help them. McNeese defends the 3-point line. McNeese doesn't foul a lot. McNeese will turn you over. You get the point here? And then we flip it over because Lamar's got the second best defense in conference play, but McNeese is the best offense. It's a really balanced attack. I would love to tell you just to take McNeese in this one, but the matchup, once again, isn't perfect. McNeese really should lay down the law on the defensive side, but I'm going to lay off for this one. McNeese is going to win this game, and McNeese will go dancing, but there's a lot more games to get to. Later we get in the day, the better the games get. Got a couple games written down so far. Let's write down even more next, right here on Moneyline.
It's easy to get SportsGrid almost anywhere with our mobile app.
So give us a break.
We're not going to tap your screen for you. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The Bills and defensive end Joey Bosa have agreed on a one-year, $12.6 million deal. Bosa was released by the Chargers last Wednesday. After making 4 Pro Bowls in his first 6 seasons, Bosa has been plagued by injuries since, but was selected to his 5th Pro Bowl in 2024. The Ravens have added DeAndre Hopkins on a one-year, $5 million deal. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. And the NFL's #1 reigning offense has the active leader in both receiving yards with Hopkins and rushing yards in Derrick Henry. The Atlanta Falcons have agreed to a one-year, $10 million contract with defensive end Leonard Floyd, who was released by the 49ers on Tuesday. The 49ers have signed wide receiver Demarcus Robinson on a 2-year, $9.5 million deal. Safety Justin Reed signed with the Saints on a 3-year, $31.5 million contract. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo and save with Progressive.
That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
How to tell if you have the winning edge. Take a sheet of paper.
Crumple into a ball.
Throw it at a trash can. Even if you miss, so long as you're listening to us.
You have it. Get the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Getting busy rolling down, people. We're into the 6 o'clock hour already. As we go back to Indianapolis, Indiana, Gamebridge Fieldhouse. That is Iowa, that is Ohio State, and that is the Big Ten tournament. Let's get some vibes going here for this. We got it? Come on, let's go. Yeah, we got some vibes for this one. Why? You know I like Iowa. You know I love that offense. You know I think they can do some business today against Ohio State. Looks like we might have a high-scoring game. Let's get to it. Let's check it. Let's check it right now. Does Iowa come up big? Let's see. The numbers are coming up on the screen. Iowa, 6th most efficient team in conference play out of 18 teams on offense. They don't turn the basketball over. They don't rebound. They don't get to the free throw line, which means they love the three-point shot. They make it at a decent clip at 37% as a team. However, Ohio State's defense defends it well. 4th in conference play at only 31%, giving up behind the three-point line. They'll let you shoot the three-point shot somewhat, but in the upper half, darn it, thought we're going to have a good one there. You can't. It's hard to take Iowa State's offense under because they're so good at tempo. Ohio State's offense, however, let's take a look here. 9th in conference play at 18 teams, so 50%. 12th in effective field goal percentage. Turnover percentage, not good. 12th in conference play at 18 teams. Making the three-point shot, about 35% of Ohio State, not bad. Iowa's defense, terrible defending the three-point line and the two-point shot. But the problem is we don't have a great matchup overall because Iowa State's point distribution is 6 from the three-point line and 17 from inside. God, it's a shame. I feel like we wasted a game here. We wasted a game because Ohio's defense is going to D up. Oh, that's a shame. See, I was playing the music, getting all excited for that game. It's not going to work out in our favor. Now, in New Jersey, at Boardwalk Hall today, in the Metro Atlantic, Ryder and Quinnipiac. I can't bet that here legally in New Jersey for some ungod-knows reason that I didn't make up, but I can't do it. You know, it's a mystery. Hey, Donnie, you can bet teams right over the bridge in Philadelphia, very close to you. But if you go 2 hours north, you can't bet it, or even an hour down to Atlantic City, you can't bet it either. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Rider, 4th in conference play to 13 teams in efficiency on offense. Quinnipiac is number 2, which means they'll defend. Quinnipiac is a great, defensive rebounding team as well. 3-point shot, Rider doesn't use it to their advantage. Quinnipiac doesn't defend it that well. It doesn't really chase you off the line. But here's the problem for Rider's offense. They're number 1 in point distribution in conference play at 56% of their total offense coming from inside the arc. Stingy defense is Quinnipiac, 11th in conference play, giving up inside the arc, which is good out of 13 teams. Don't foul that much. Let me see. Could this be a Rider team total under? Which, again, I can't even bring up the statistics on my computer at this point. Even Bet365 FanDuel, they don't even give me they allow me to actually bring it up. But if you're out there and you have lines, maybe you look at a Rider team total under. Quinnipiac on offense, not a great 3-point shooting team. Rider can't defend the 3. But that's not the matchup I'd look at. It actually would be Quinnipiac's defense. Neutral site there at Boardwalk Hall. And we had Coach James Young on the show today on the early line. And I've been to Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall many times, and he's right. Tough shooting angles behind the rim. Like, you literally have the hoop and then 100 feet before you get to the stage on one side. It's right in the middle. So it usually lends itself to some unders, even though Quinnipiac is the fastest team, offensive possession length. Rider's 10th. I think a Rider team total under might make some sense. But again, I can't bet it. Since I'm in New Jersey, it stinks. Would love to. Would love to go to Atlantic City, watch those games and bet them. Can't do it. DePaul, Georgetown, the Big East, 6:30 p.m. Madison Square Garden, 2 horrendous basketball teams. DePaul's defense stinks. Georgetown's offense stinks. DePaul's offense stinks. You get the point here where we're going? Let me see something, though. Look, guess. Sometimes I get some things where I see and say, hey, you know what? Could it be so ugly that it's nice? DePaul's bad on offense. They don't rebound it, turn it over a little bit too much, don't get to the free throw line, and don't shoot a great number from the 3-point line, about 31%. However, Georgetown will let you shoot the 3-point shot, and DePaul likes the 3-point shot. See, don't outsmart yourself. I'm trying to find a way to take DePaul right here in a really bad game. Kristen Hess, thank you. Thank you for chiming in there. Rider team total 65.5. That's a really low number, but if I was playing anything in that game, it would be the under 65.5. I can't bet at New Jersey. It's a shame. Maybe it wins. Maybe it loses. But I won't have any action on that game there. But thank you. People do tune in. They listen. I understand it. And I love the feedback. And the best way to do that is right there. SportsGrid On Demand on our YouTube channel. If you're watching through, you want to reach out. You got information. Hey, Donnie, like this game? Don't like this game? I'm betting this game. Donnie, what do you think about this game? That's the place to put it there. Right next to it as we have some fun. DePaul, Georgetown. Sorry about that, Madison Square Garden. We're not going to be getting involved there. UTEP Liberty. Conference USA today, 6:30 p.m., Huntsville, Alabama. UTEP's offense, 7th in conference play to 10 teams, not very good. However, Liberty, number 1 overall in conference play. Do we have some juice here? Let's go over the numbers. Effective field goal percentage in conference play, Liberty is the best. They don't turn the basketball over. And here's what's key. UTEP's defense, number 2 in conference play, at 20% turnover rate, which is incredible, which they probably get a lot of their points that direction. So Liberty's not going to turn it over and give you those fast break points that you would love to get. Neither team rebounds all that well on offense and defense. Liberty doesn't get to the free throw line all that much, but they're number 1 in conference play at shooting the 3-point shot, which means volume. 47%, actually 48% of their total shots. So let's go to 50%. Half of their shots come from 3-point range. They're number 1 in point distribution. 40% of their total points come from 3-point range. That's interesting. They're 9th in conference play at point distribution out of 10 teams at scoring inside the arc, which means they really rely on the 3. But when they do go inside, it's almost 56% that they are. Here's the issue that you run into sometimes. The worst team in conference play, which usually is an anomaly. They love the 3-point shot. They shoot a ton of 3-point shots and make a good amount. But they're the worst team in conference play from the free throw line. That's a tough one. Like, normally I would love to take Liberty in this game. I don't think I can. That's just a number too low. It looks like one you might be able to get down with, though. Liberty, UTEP, real close to the card today. Baylor, Kansas State, Big 12 action, 7 p.m. Coming from you live from Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas State's offense, not very good. 12th out of 16 teams on offense. Matchup, not great for them versus Baylor's defense. Baylor's offense, 5th out of 16 teams in conference play. They like to shoot the 3-point shot, but Kansas State will defend it. They don't really score all that much as their point distribution, 12th in conference play inside the 2. Kansas State gives up a lot of 2-point shots here. Not really loving that game too much. Let's keep moving. Mississippi State and LSU in the SEC. LSU not very good. Mississippi State decent basketball team. LSU, really bad on offense and really bad on defense. But if you're looking at Mississippi State, right? LSU doesn't foul. Mississippi State doesn't get to the free throw line. Mississippi State does like to shoot the three-point shot. LSU will give up the three-point shot, but defend you and try to knock you off the three-point line very well. But here's the difference. Here's where sometimes you got to sort of check it a little bit. LSU's defense is bad. They don't foul, but they don't rebound. They don't turn you over. So extra shots from Mississippi State. Mississippi State isn't a great three-point shooting team. They shoot a decent amount of them, about 43% of their total offensive shots come from three-point range. But here's the key indicator that you like sometimes. If the three-point shot isn't falling, the point distribution for Mississippi State is number 1 in conference play, which means 51% of the offense for Mississippi State comes from inside the arc. LSU's defense is number 2 at giving up points inside the arc. LSU is extremely slow, but Mississippi State is faster. So LSU is going to be the underdog in this game. And let me just see what the line is in this too. So let's go LSU. LSU is getting 8.5 points, which means that tempo should be bumped up. 146.5 is a total down to 145.5. Let me see where Mississippi State's team total is. And I said again, this game was a 7 o'clock start tonight. Where are you at? There we go. LSU, Mississippi State, team props. Mississippi State is 77.5. Huh. That's an interesting one. That's like right on the borderline. That game was like 74.5. Probably would jump in. But I do like the fact that they're going to score inside. I just don't know if I can trust that game overall. But see, it's fun. Got 3 games written down so far. I think makes some sense. We still got a long way to go. A couple more segments here. We're going to keep dipping in. American and Navy at 7 o'clock tonight? Let's find out next, right here on Moneyline.
You're listening to one of the last places on earth where a man can be a man and not get those looks.
Welcome aboard, good sir.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. Gonzaga men's basketball won the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship. The Bulldogs extended their national record to 18 consecutive 25-win seasons. Gonzaga avenged 2 regular season losses to St. Mary's with a 58-51 win against the Gales on Tuesday. Gonzaga has now won the West Coast Conference Tournament 22 times, including 20 under head coach Mark Few. Robert Morris captured the Horizon League title, 89-78, the win over Youngstown State. St. Francis, 46-43 over Central Connecticut to capture the Northeast Conference final. Colonial UNC Wilmington beat Delaware 76-72. NBA, the Cavaliers matched the team's longest winning streak with their 15th consecutive victory on Tuesday, a 109-104 win over the Nets. Cleveland's now tied for the 5th best start in NBA history at 55-10. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo and save with Progressive.
That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When it comes to odds on daily sporting events, it's complicated when you factor in everything from current wind speed
to how hot a player's girlfriend is.
But you don't have to mess with that.
Just keep it here and listen.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Oh, we keep rolling along on a Wednesday. Isn't this fun? Going over every single game in college basketball today. By the way, there is one good NBA game tonight. OKC taking on Boston. I think OKC gets it done. We'll see what happens, but nobody's focused on the NBA. Nobody's ever focused on the NBA until the NBA playoffs. Horrible product, 6 out of 7 nights. Tonight, they're actually giving you a really good game to watch right in the middle of a fantastic college basketball slate and March Madness cranking up here. Navy and American. Bender Arena, Washington, D.C. Navy's defense, best in conference play. They defend everything well. They rebound well. They turn you over. You get the point here. American's offense is third in conference play out of 10 teams. They love the three-point shot. And to be honest, Navy's defense will let you shoot the three-point shot. Interesting. Now, Navy's offense going up against American's defense, they're fourth in conference play. American's defense, second in conference play. American does foul. Navy likes to get to the free throw line. Navy doesn't really rely on the three-point shot. See, this is an interesting one now. So you got two teams that generally aren't really fast. See what Navy did the past couple games here. All right, Navy's beaten Boston 86-78 and Bucknell 83-77. So they've done some work so far. American, on the other hand, beat Lafayette 71-69 and Colgate 72-62. Let me just go back up and take another quick look at this here. You know, efficiency nationally, not good. But again, it's not a talented conference per se. But how about Navy's best defense here? Can they play a little from the three-point line? Could they do that? Navy's offense, point distribution inside, they should be able to score a little bit. I don't know. They're second in conference play at points. You know what? Let's spread this game. This game's getting me intrigued right now, to be honest. Type it in, Navy. What do we got here? Navy versus the American Eagle. How about American Eagles? I mean, what a perfect name. What an absolute perfect name. American is favored by 3.5 in this game, up from 2.5, and a total 131.5. Could Navy's offense be the play? Like, if we're taking a look at turnover percentage, American will turn you over, but Navy doesn't really turn it over a ton. They will get to the free throw line. They will rebound. They don't shoot the three-point shot incredibly well. Am I overthinking this, though? But they are second in point distribution. American is fourth in point distribution on defense. That's a tough one. That is a tough game. But Navy does play defense. You know what? I got to leave that one alone. That seems like too much of a coin flip. That's a great basketball game, though, as you level it out. Back to the Mountain West Conference. Air Force and UNLV. Air Force is terrible, by the way. Worst offense, worst defense in conference play. This game's going to be played at the Thomas and Mack Center. Why is that important? It actually is important. UNLV's home court. Pseudo home court advantage. Air Force loves to shoot the three. Don't make too many of them. UNLV defends the three-point line. It's just an ugly game. UNLV on offense probably should be able to do whatever they want. They don't shoot a ton of three-point shots. Air Force doesn't defend anything. Slow tempo game, though. I have to leave that one alone. Even though they probably should roll them. Like a team total should probably work out for UNLV. Don't love it. Stanford and California. I'm not even going to entertain that game. I think it stinks. Coppin State, South Carolina State. Nope, not doing that. Metro Atlantic, Sacred Heart, and Merrimack. Again, I can't bet these games, but they're still fun to go over. Merrimack's got the best defense in conference play. Sacred Heart's got the second best offense due to efficiency. You know what? You look at Sacred Heart's offense, and I like the way it's built. I do. Merrimack will turn you over and not foul you, which is key. And Sacred Heart not that great at handling the ball. And by the way, Merrimack's defense, turnover percentage in conference play, I don't think I've ever seen it this high. 24%. Almost a quarter of the possessions from the opposite team don't even end in a shot. Now, hear me out on this. Sacred Heart's offense is number one in conference play in volume from the three-point line, almost 47% of their total shots. Merrimack's the best defending three-point team in the conference and second at chasing you off the line. 56% of the offense that comes against Merrimack is inside the arc. That's number one in conference play. So they really defend the three-point line at 13. You know what? This is a good one. And I can't bet it again. So if anybody once again out there is listening, like I know Kristen Hess was a little while ago, what is the team total for Sacred Heart in the game against Merrimack? Because the stupidest thing, too, is like when I bring up my odds boards, they're all based out of New Jersey. So they don't even give me the line, which is ridiculous. But if I'm out there looking like Sacred Heart's offense really should struggle tonight. It really should. There's Kristen Hess again. Team total 65.5. I'd probably be under that. You know, I'm writing that down. Even though I can't bet it. Sacred Heart, team total. Yep, that's what we do on the fly, people. We write stuff down. 65.5. See that? People are helping me out in the streets. Love it. Shout it out, baby. We get a standing ovation. Hold on. We got something out here? we give the standing O out here? Let's see. Yeah. That's for the people out there helping your boy out. Help your boy out. Give me the statistics I need right there. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for doing that. Sacred Heart's look, again, they're the second best offense in Metro Atlantic play, but everything they do is exactly what Merrimack loves to stop. Under 65.5, Big Jim at that point. I'm going to go under in that. I wish I could bet it. I can't bet it. It's the way it is. Live in New Jersey, die in New Jersey. That's what happens. All right, let's get back to it here. Have some fun across the board. Jackson State, Florida A&M, and then we're not doing that. Again, another game I can't bet because it's Rutgers, because they're in New Jersey. Even though they're playing in Indianapolis, I somehow can influence that game, according to New Jersey lawmakers. USC, not great on offense, about midway in the conference. Actually, a little bit less than midway, so not too bad. 7th in efficiency out of 18 teams. They don't like to shoot the three-point shot, but they make the three-point shot. This is an interesting USC's defense, by the way. Now that I take a look. And again, I can't bet this either way either. Effective field goal percentage is second for USC, which means, again, they don't rely on the three-point shot. They're 16th out of 18 teams, but they make it. 38% as a team. Rutgers doesn't defend the three-point line. Point distribution inside the arc, they're 5th in conference play, going up against the team that gives up the 4th most points in conference play. Rutgers offense, not very good, doesn't match up well. So for me, again, I don't know the total. So again, if you're out there, again, Aaron saying what, 66.5 on 365? Yeah, so you got some different numbers. So 66.5 and 65.5 on that. So we'll write both of those down, that Sacred Heart one. But again, I'm coming up on a break. You guys are still listening. What's that USC team total today against Rutgers? Because again, I'm in New Jersey. God help me if I'm in New Jersey and I want to try to bet Rutgers games. Good Lord. We'll be right back after the break and wrapping things up. But somebody out there tell me, what's that team total for USC? Donnie right side, the SportsGrid Network. It's Moneyline. It's a Wednesday. Big things doing. We'll be right back.
This is the place. This is where you'll get expert perspectives and sports gaming strategies 24/7. And it's free. Beat that, you cheap. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Imagine combining the exciting investment opportunity of cryptocurrencies with the power of artificial intelligence to maximize your IRA, 401k, or other investment funds. Listen, if you're looking for ways to accelerate your retirement growth, Block Trust IRA has market-leading strategies and solutions for all levels of investors, from $1,000 to millions. And they partner with Bitcoin Magazine's #1 crypto trading fund in the world to maximize your returns. Plus, their team of IRA specialists is here to help you roll over your IRA or qualified retirement account to the new world of cryptocurrency investments. So make this free call right now to set up your account and learn more.
800-434-5313. 800-434-5313. 800-434-5313. That's 800-434-5313.
Carver and Lisi.
What was that?
Don't be sick about it. Just shake it off.
Guys chucking threes from half court. Guys trying to throw alley-oops off the backboard. What is this, a rec game in preseason? This is the Horizon League semifinals here. This is a chance to play for the championship tomorrow night. Bobby Moe throwing it away.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Weekdays 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. Think of us as your cool roommate that has this innate gift of somehow always picking winners and never bugs you about doing the dishes or paying rent. Sports gaming strategies and information 24/7.
Get the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
SC total is 76.5. Kristen Hess out here on the chat box said initially 65, and I was like, "Ooh, man, that is solid." Like, that was game of the year type stuff right there. But 76.5, I'm writing it down. So it gives me 5 total action shots today so far. Utah Valley, Utah Tech tonight, 9 p.m. How about that game? Utah Tech. Anybody ever watch Utah Tech play? How about Utah Valley? By the way, Utah Valley's offense, the best in conference play. Utah Tech's defense, the worst in conference play. 3-point line should be open. Inside the arc should be open. That should be a slaughter fest. Utah Valley's defense is good also. Let me see here. What do we got going on? Just trying to. They don't give up too many 3-point shots in that conference. I'm going to lay low on that one. But that one sort of got me a little bit of vibes like Utah Valley should blow the doors off Utah Tech. Jacksonville State and FIU tonight. Conference USA. FIU offense worst in conference play. 9th ranked defense out of 10 in conference play. They're bad. Just trying to look at some matchup styles. FIU's offense, they turn the basketball over 21% of their offensive possessions. So a fifth of the time they come up the court, they don't even get a shot off. And then when they do get a shot off from 3-point range, they're the worst in conference play. Get off that game. Nothing good to do with FIU in that one. Let's keep going down the list as we go. Seton Hall and Villanova tonight. I think this game does stay under the total. Two turtle-paced teams out here. Seton Hall's defense stinks. So Villanova really should be able to get off tonight. Seton Hall doesn't rebound. Seton Hall does turn you over, but Villanova doesn't turn the basketball over. Seton Hall will foul you. Seton Hall will play no defense at the 3-point line. It seems like a very good match for Villanova. But again, since Seton Hall is a New Jersey team and they're playing in the Garden, I can't bet that game. But I can take a look at some of the lines itself. I don't see the team totals, but that game looks like it's an under for me of 126.5. It does. And probably looking at a Villanova team total in that aspect of it would probably make a little bit of sense. Ken Palm's got him around 71 points, so I imagine it's probably in the high 60s, low 70s number. Cal State Bakersfield versus UC Santa Barbara. Henderson, Nevada, down by Las Vegas. Not a lot of greatness there. So we're trying to hustle through. We only got a couple more minutes left, a few more games to go. Georgia, Oklahoma, Nashville, SEC Championship. Anybody like to shoot 3-point shots? Georgia's 16th out of 16 teams at firing away. Not great. Not a great matchup for Georgia against Oklahoma's bad defense either. We'll shift out of that game. Come on, let's keep going down. We can get through it. Kansas, UCF. Look at this game. UCF's offense, 8th in efficiency out of 16 teams. Not good. Kansas's defense, very good. Kansas will let you shoot the 3-point shot, but defend the 3-point line. Take a look at their offense on Kansas. Zeke Mayo action. They don't shoot the 3-point shot all that much, 14th out of 16 teams. They do rely on inside the paint. Like Kansas should really work this team, by the way. UCF's offense is fast. That's one I want to keep my eye on, though, for maybe a little bit later. What time is that tip? 9:30 tonight? Come on, stop it. Too late. SMU and Syracuse tonight, people. Getting down in the ACC. Syracuse defense is terrible. Not a great matchup all that much for SMU's 14th out of 18 teams in efficiency on offense, so not too bad. Syracuse's offense, not great. By the way, SMU will let you shoot the 3-point shot. Syracuse won't be able to take advantage of that. Syracuse's team total. Let me get that real quick. That's one I can actually look at, people. This is a 9:30 start tonight, which probably even get bumped back with some of the later games if they go later. Syracuse, SMU, team props, the Q's team total. This was 71.5 earlier today, or I think even as high as 72.5. Let me double check, because I did a video this morning. Let me just check my sent files here, since I can't bring it all up at once. All right, so we got that here. Syracuse this morning was 71.5, so it's down to 70.5 here. So Syracuse team total in 6 play, under 71.5 is what I got that. Let's write that down. All right. It's only got a minute left in the program today. Northern Colorado, Montana. Looks like a higher scoring game out there in Boise. Any matchups here? No, we'll quickly go through that one. Come on. We have 2 more, and we're through every single game on this card. Grand Canyon, UT Arlington from Paradise, Nevada, which is essentially Las Vegas. Nothing there for that. All right, last game of the night, Cal Poly and UC Davis. Anything here? Freeze? Nothing. Look at that. We did it all. We did it. 1 hour. Every single game on the card. 6 plays. Virginia's team total over. Butler minus 4.5. LaSalle team total under. Sacred Heart team total over. USC team total over. Syracuse team total under. Look at that. We did it. for a Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Your boy Donnie Rightside. We'll be right back here on the Sports Grid Network.
It's easy to get SportsGrid almost anywhere with our mobile app.
So give us a break.
We're not going to tap your screen for you. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.